Welcome back to Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. Glad you are with us. We are joined by Kafi Blumenfield. She is the president and CEO of Liberty Hill Foundation, which is what?
Liberty Hill Foundation is a public social justice foundation here in Los Angeles that is really investing in leaders on the front lines of change here in our city.
And what we know today is, given we've had such difficult times, so many of our young men and boys are getting lost, especially those who come from lower income families, who may be of color. And so you're focusing right now on those boys like a laser beam. Tell us about Brothers, Sons, and Selves.
Absolutely. Listen, here's what we know. California, in order for us all to prosper, we must focus on those populations that are suffering the most. And even though there are a lot of us who are suffering right now in our state, low-income young men, boys of color, they're suffering the most. And if you take nearly any indicator of health and well-being, whether it's life expectancy or graduating from school with the requirements that you need to go to a four-year college or university, these young men and boys are not equipped, and we need to help them thrive.
And you said to me recently, and it was very upsetting because the metaphor is so apropos, you want to stop the school to prison pipeline. I just got chills saying it to you. It makes me want to cry.
Absolutely. We want our boys to succeed. I mean, usually when I grew up, it was a school to success pipeline. So the fact that we have a school to prison pipeline is ridiculous, and we need to do something about that.
And you are working with the California Endowment to try to change that. You also have a hearing coming up through the legislature, the assembly, right here in the Los Angeles area. Tell us about the March 2nd hearing, which we can attend?
Yes, absolutely. We want folks to come. It's March 2nd. It's at the Expo, and really that is an opportunity for the assembly, the state assembly, to hear the stories of young men and of color here in Los Angeles. And the story is bleak. Really what we want is we want to create a common sense approach to nurturing and providing these young men and boys with what they need to succeed.
So the hearing starts at 3 o'clock, and I want to talk about young men of color. I recently read in the LA Times, actually, that when you look at Latinos and you look at African Americans, Latinos are actually bouncing back a little bit better from the recession than even Anglos and or African Americans. Now that's great news, but we have a thriving African American population in this city, and that community is not bouncing back as strongly.
And really, we have to look at all of these communities. It's the Latino community, it's the African American, Southeast Asian, Native American. These young boys just entering the pipeline, they just do not have the supports that are needed for them to succeed when they become adults.
So you're just starting this campaign.
Yes.
What are you looking to do? I know it's early, but what are you looking to do?
Absolutely. What we want is we want a common sense approach to how we. It really means, for example, when you look at our schools, our teachers just want to teach. What we're asking them to do is we're asking them to be cops in schools, right? Today we're doing that. So, up until recently, if a young man or boy was late for school and he was of color and he was in certain neighborhoods in the city, he'd get upwards of a $250 truancy ticket for being late to school.
And then if they're bad boys, they get suspended. Well, what does that do? That's not a punishment, that's a vacation.
And I'm a mother, and I have a little boy at home, and we know that, our kids make mistakes. And usually what we do is they make a mistake, we use it as an opportunity to teach them so that they can go be right.
Well, Kafi, I want to thank you for joining us. Best of luck. The hearing is March 2nd, 3 to 6 at the Expo Center in Los Angeles. You'll be there. Members of the Assembly will be there. My name is Brad Palmer. Thank you for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. Now we're going to send you back to HLN.